Minutes after capturing 50,000 gallons of American fuel, the German colonel understood something terrifying. Germany had already lost. The capture December 17, 1944. Outside Stavelot, Belgium, snow whips across the Ardennes forest like white shrapnel. The distant rumble of American artillery rolls through the trees, muffled by the thick winter fog. Down a narrow forest road, a column of German armored vehicles advances at a crawl, painted with soot to hide their silhouettes, their engines coughing from the frigid air in near-empty tanks. At the head of the column rides Oberstleutnant Heinrich Küster, a career officer in the Wehrmacht's 1st SS Panzer Corps. His face is hard, carved by years on the Eastern Front, but today his eyes carry a different weight, fatigue mixed with something colder, more calculating. His men whisper that he hasn't slept in 40 hours. Küster raises his binoculars. Through the snow-choked haze, he spots something both startling and absurd. A U.S. fuel depot, unguarded, abandoned, sitting like a gift from heaven. Dozens of cylindrical fuel trucks stand arranged in the clearing, their olive-drab metal shimmering under a thin coat of frost. A young German sergeant mutters, "Herr Oberstleutnant, could it be a trap?" Küster lowers the binoculars. "It isn't," he replies, voice steady. "They withdrew too quickly." Behind him, German Panthers idle on fumes. The offensive, Hitler's final gamble, the Ardennes counterattack, has barely begun, and already fuel shortages threaten to strangle the entire plan. Every officer knows it, even if no one dares say it aloud. Küster gestures forward. "Secure the area. No gunfire unless absolutely necessary." His men fan out, boots crunching in the snow. They find no mines, no explosives, no booby traps. Just fuel. More fuel than Küster has seen in months. One of the tanker operators calls out, astonished, "Herr Oberstleutnant, rough estimate, at least 50,000 gallons." The words hang in the icy air. 50,000 gallons. A fortune, a miracle. Whatever word one chooses, it is enough to keep his armored column moving for days. Enough to punch a hole deeper into the American lines. Enough to, at least temporarily, keep Hitler's delusion alive. Küster walks between the silent U.S. trucks, gloved hands sliding along their metal hulls. The depot is eerie in its stillness. No bodies, no blood, only the echoes of retreat. A torn American map flaps against a wooden post, cracked from frost. Footprints lead west toward Stavelot, scattered, hurried. As fuel crews rush to siphon the precious gasoline into German tankers, Küster studies the scene. Something about it gnaws at him. Not the danger, but the ease of it all. A victory this effortless feels wrong. He finds an American jerry can half buried in snow, still full, labeled U.S. Army motor gasoline. Next to it, a half-eaten ration bar and a crushed cigarette. Someone had been here minutes earlier. His adjutant, Hauptmann Adler, approaches with a grin rare for these bleak days. This will put the Panthers back on the road. The attack can continue as planned. Küster doesn't answer. He continues scanning the depot, expression unreadable. The wind moans through the trucks like a warning. As the first German tanker fills with the stolen fuel, Küster steps away from his men and faces the tree line. In the glow of approaching dusk, he can see it clearly now. The Americans abandoned this, not because they were defeated, but because they didn't need it. Their supply lines spill over with abundance. Germany's are held together with desperation. Behind him, the engines roar back to life. Panthers rumbling with renewed strength, crews cheering, officers applauding the stroke of luck. But Küster stands still, the snow settling on his cap. In that moment, with gasoline fumes thick in the air and victory within reach, he feels the truth more sharply than he expected. Germany cannot win this war. A single captured fuel depot has shown him the depth of their problem, a problem too large for any colonel or any amount of courage to overcome. Far in the distance, the low thud of American aircraft grows louder. The fog is clearing. Küster turns back toward the road, the weight of realization pressing into his chest. This fuel may carry them forward, but it will not save them. The realization, December 17th, 1944. Eastern outskirts of Stavelot, Belgium. The Panthers grind forward, their engines healthier now, their silhouettes cutting through the thinning fog. The scent of American gasoline trails behind them, a smell Custer never thought he'd come to associate with hope or with dread. The column snakes along a narrow village road, mud and slush spraying beneath steel tracks. The half-timbered houses stand silent, shutters battered by the wind. Faint echoes of artillery rumble somewhere to the west. The war is close. Closer than these abandoned homes suggest. Custer rides in the lead vehicle, a Command Panther modified with extra radios. He sits half-standing in the open hatch, binoculars pressed to his eyes as he scans beyond the rooftops. Snowflakes sting his face, carried sideways by the wind. Below him, the radio crackles with the gritty voice of Hauptmann Adler. Fuel estimates confirmed. Enough for 2 days of movement at combat speed, perhaps 3 if we limit idling. Custer lowers the binoculars. 2 days, he repeats, not with triumph, but with a soldier's realism. 2 days of life for the offensive. 2 days before the tanks run dry again. The Americans, by contrast, can supply an entire army group for weeks without hesitation. He has seen their convoys. Long lines of trucks stretching horizon to horizon, headlights glowing through the fog like a procession of ghosts. Endless supplies, endless fuel, endless men. His own forces depend on miracles and captured depots. A young radio operator beside him turns, eager, hopeful. Herr Oberstleutnant, with this fuel, we may reach the Meuse before the Americans can react. Custer's jaw tightens. The Meuse, the river that Hitler believed would break the Allied front if the Germans could only reach it. But Custer knows the truth the way only a frontline commander can. Fuel, not firepower, will decide this battle. The Panther lurches forward as the column rounds a bend. Suddenly, gunfire rips through the winter air. Sporadic, frantic. American infantry. Custer ducks, slamming the hatch closed. The interior floods with red emergency lights, casting harsh shadows across the cramped metal walls. The gunner swings the turret toward the muzzle flashes ahead. Engage, Custer commands. The Panther's cannon thunders, the recoil shaking snow from the rooftops. German grenadiers rush from half-tracks, spreading through the village's narrow lanes like smoke. The firefight is short, brutal, and entirely one-sided. The Americans retreat again, quickly, efficiently, abandoning more supply crates in their wake. More food, more ammunition, more fuel. Too much left behind to be anything but intentional. As the Germans regroup, Adler joins Custer inside the tank, helmet dusted with snow. Their retreat was organized. They're not collapsing. They're drawing us deeper. Custer nods. He has known this for hours. But hearing it said aloud makes the air feel colder. He steps out of the hatch once more, climbing onto the tank's hull. In the distance, the sky holds a faint hum, like a swarm awakening. American aircraft. The weather is clearing. The fog that had sheltered the German advance is lifting, revealing the column below like prey caught in open fields. Custer watches the clouds thin, unveiling patches of pale blue sky. Moments ago, the captured fuel felt like salvation. Now it feels like bait. He turns to Adler. Get the column moving, fast. We must clear this village before their air support arrives. As orders ripple down the line, Custer's mind drifts back to the fuel depot, silent, untouched, waiting to be found. He imagines the American officers who abandoned it. Calm, sharp-eyed men who knew their logistics were strong enough that losing 50,000 gallons meant nothing. To Germany, it was everything. He feels the weight of his realization deepen, not as a sudden epiphany, but as a steady, inevitable truth. The war is no longer about courage or tactics. It is about resources, and Germany has none left. Somewhere behind them, a Panther stalls, fuel gauge flickering. Even with the captured windfall, they are rationing every drop. The rumble above grows louder, metal birds breaking through the clouds. Custer lifts his eyes to the sky, breath frosting in the air. This fuel might carry them a few miles farther. But the Americans have the skies, the factories, the trucks, the oil, the manpower. They have a nation that can replace everything. Custer realizes with a clarity that feels almost like resignation, Germany cannot replace anything. The first American fighter swoops out of the clearing clouds, sunlight flashing off its wings. The moment is fragile, like a match held too close to gasoline. Custer grips the hatch rim, shouting down to the driver, "Maximum speed, move!" The column surges forward. The fuel they captured will help them run,